Hello and welcome to the Pens and Pixels review of It.
It.
I'm your host, Cal G, and to my left is the coordinator extraordinaire,
Mike Kent.
And in this episode, we're first going to be going over whether or not we liked the movie with no spoilers whatsoever, and then at a designated point, I'll give you a spoiler warning. We're going to delve into the movie in as chronological as order as we can remember, and just kind of break down what our favorite things were, what we liked, what we disliked, and all this shit. So then it's going to be full spoiler mode from then on.
We just got out of it. We went and saw it just today, so make sure, or well, today is the day we recorded it, which is a Saturday.
Yes.
But we went off and we went to the VIP theater, which is super nice.
Very nice.
I'm going to have to do that from now on. And it was way better. Which is like get your own seat and you get food and drinks, and Cal had old fashions.
Two old fashions.
And even had a wonderful opening moment when the server came up and it was like with the drinks. It was going, okay, so one old fashioned for you and one for you. And I was like, nope, both for me.
I was like, no. I even beckoned him over. I was like, no.
They're both here.
Right here.
No shame.
My only comment was it's a 2-hour movie.
You can't order again while you're in the middle of the movie.
No, exactly. That's the thing. Like, you might look like an alcoholic at the time, but it's like if you have 2 drinks over the course of 2 hours, that's not a big deal. I had them within the first 25 minutes, but
I could kind of tell.
I was like, oh, okay.
You kept holding them up. You're like,
It was this thing. I was like, has the ice melted? Is there more in here now? Like, I don't know. Anyway, so I love this movie. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised on how much I ended up. I thought I was going to enjoy myself and it was going to be a very good movie and I was going to come out and be like, hey, you guys did it. But I was really impressed in the way like Stranger Things impressed me, where I was like, Jesus Christ, you guys paid attention to so many details.
Yep.
And that's what really impressed me. Really capturing 1980s, really capturing the kids, really capturing like so much of the book as well. And as much of the iconicness of it as it is, like, it was so well done.
Was it fantastic done? And like the kids themselves, the movie is like ride or die with them, because like there's like 2 adults with speaking roles in this whole movie. Like there's like nobody, like no adults speak. It's all on the kids, and like not one of them has the typical, like, when you see a kid in a horror movie or anything, and you're like, oh, like, I don't want this guy's storyline or this kid's storyline. I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, no, totally. Like no invalid adults, which is totally what it's about, right? Because it's about these kids and like them overcoming fear. But at the same time, the kids were like so on. I mean, I gotta say, even still, the number one standout is the Stranger Things kid.
For sure.
This one, same actor who played the main. I forget his name. It's not Will. It's the other one.
Isn't it like Finn Wolf or something? His real name?
Oh, maybe, but I can't remember.
Mike Wheeler. His name is in real life Finn Wolfhard. That's a sick name.
It kind of fits to his character. I think that personality is probably actually his.
Wolfhard. Yeah, fucking A.
Yeah,
but he was standout character. He had like the best lines, super funny.
Good interjection of a little bit of comedy too. In that, like, his lines made everyone laugh because they were a lot of fun. And it reminded you of being a kid, where you're pulling off that kind of language when you're away from mom and dad.
Yep. Yeah, and you're saying fuck the entire time, and like just dropping F-bombs everywhere.
Although I gotta say, they do have, like, for the kid, we didn't have eloquent use of fuck. We were just like, what the fuck is fucking going on? Fuck, because we were just like so excited to use the word.
Yeah.
These guys were like master craft users of fuck.
Yeah.
Because like all of them didn't drop F-bombs. Some of them were just like using it in that moment when they really truly passionately had to express fuck.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, you guys are a little bit too crap. Like, you've been saying fuck since you were 3, kind of thing.
Yeah, like they're used to it by now.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get any more spoilers yet. So like we're gonna get into spoilers in like 2 minutes. But I would highly recommend you go see this movie, even if you're not a horror fan. I think this gives off like strong vibes of like Stranger Things for one, which is also like a horror-y, so maybe that's not the best idea. But Stand By Me and Goonies also came to mind, just with the kid like ensemble cast.
And visually, like the entire film, just for cinematography, art direction, concept art, all that kind of stuff, all fantastically done. Great color palette that was used in the same muted, like, kind of, what was that called? Not a beige, more of like
sepia tone?
Sepia tone, yeah. A little bit of red in there. Just like all kind of kept in that same like color genre. And anytime any color came in, like Pennywise or anything else that happens in the movie, like, it really shockingly stood out as being very different, right? So just everything was very well put together. It was a really strong movie, and if you are not a horror fan, this movie will definitely be classified as a horror, no matter what. But I still think you should try and find a way of watching it because it really is a great piece of art.
Yeah, it's just a great film. Like and that's just about it. So go see it and then come back and listen to the rest of our review.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning, starting now. Holy shit. Holy shit, this movie was so fucking good. And now let's talk about Uninhibited. Like, let's start at the beginning. Mm-hmm. The moment I knew the gloves were off was when that, like, child's arm just got torn off.
I didn't think they would do that. Like, yeah. Like, opening sequence was basically the sequence from the book to the movie.
And the miniseries, yeah. Like,
book to miniseries movie. Everything was fine. I'm like, hey, good atmosphere. We're all on board. This is exactly as it is been all this time. I'm like, maybe it's just going to be a literal adaptation. And then the kid drops down. Pennywise first pops up.
Yep.
And we finally get a solid, like, because, like, again, like, they did a good ad campaign with this where you didn't actually spend a lot of time looking at Pennywise.
Oh, yeah, you did. I would disagree.
I had a pretty big band, so maybe it was another...
I feel like they leaned on him very heavily.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like... You didn't see all the best parts in the trailers, but like he was front and center. I think in a lot of stuff. You know, they treated him more like Freddy Krueger rather than like the Alien, where like they're like, let's not show the alien an alien. You know what I mean? I
didn't get like the sensation I got when he popped up for the first time. I was like, whoa, fuck, he's way more intimidating now.
Oh yeah, and he looks better in motion than he does in a lot of the promotional stuff.
Way better in motion. Definitely an amazing looking clown. Voice was good. Everything was good. He even drooled while he talked.
Yeah, this all this constant like drip down his chin.
Yeah.
His eyes did this like great like almost like lazy. This was not almost lazy eye thing, but like one would be kind of like floating.
Yeah.
As it was like moving away, and I kind of like that because it
dehumanized him. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't know, like it is like a trans-dimensional like being, and it made it almost seem like this was like a vessel it was inhabiting, and its body was kind of just like. You know, it was together, but it was like, it was just like, okay, it's like, yeah, if you had a ventriloquist dummy, and it's like, nah, his eye's kind of shitty. You know, like that kind of thing. I just kept thinking that. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And then, yeah, you're right. Like, in that moment, like, they're doing the usual lines. It was all the same lines. And really creepy, good little interaction between, Georgie, and it was like, like he's cheering him up and being so friendly, and then the moment the kids started getting happy enough, it was like he was getting too fucking hungry. Yeah. And he just went quiet, and the little kid was like, oh.
Yeah.
You know? But then when he got his arm bit off, I was like, "What the fuck? You just ripped a kid's arm off."
That was amazing.
Way to start the movie off. Yeah. Like you just ripped easily a 6-year-old child's arm off.
Yep. I was like, yes.
And it's crawling away with his arm off and get pulled in.
And then pulled into the drain. And I was like, and then that's when the title card hits, and you're like, okay, yeah, that was good.
That was good. Yeah, I was like, wow, way to set the tone for this movie.
This is definitely it's definitely like an R-rated movie. You know what I mean? Like they leaned into it. They used it well.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely very impressed. And then. We move on to the characters that we like, the main characters, all the kids.
Yeah. Oh, and fucking you get what was his name? The chubby kid. I loved the chubby kid.
The chubby kid was great.
Oh fuck! I felt for him so much when he was he was just like a mess at the beginning of the movie. Like when they're introducing him
again. All those character interactions were so fucking good.
Yeah.
Because like that started the whole thing off. The kids walking through the hall, and immediately right off the bat. They are talking like kids in the 1980s because we didn't know about being politically correct or anything. So like the kids are sitting back going, it was super Jewy, and a bunch of Jewy guys are going to come together, and you're like, whoa, kids. But then you're like, oh right, it's 1980s. They wouldn't know better. And already immediately the Stranger Thing actor, there, Mr. Wolfhard, is like firing off great lines and being totally like foul mouthed.
Yeah.
So like their camaraderie is already building up nicely, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm loving listening to these kids talk in 30 seconds, and it was just them walking out of the fucking
just walking through the hallway.
Yeah.
And then we get introduced to Beverly, and she's smoking in the girls' room. Smoking in the girls' room. And then she gets some garbage dumped on her, which seemed to be like 90% liquid.
Well, they had a bag, and then they had the bag up to the sink, and they were filling it up.
Oh, is that what they did? Yeah. Oh, okay, so I missed that. I was like, why is there so much water in this garbage? I was like, what are they throwing away in here? I totally glazed over that. I was like, why is it so wet?
Yeah, it's like they had a girl in the corner filling up the garbage bag with water, and then dumped it on her.
Yeah, I totally missed that part.
I'm impressed how quickly and easily she recovered, though.
She didn't seem to give that much of a fuck.
No.
Yeah, she just.
But her hair was fine, and there was.
Oh yeah, and the next time you see her, she's like totally dry, not covered in garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like, I'm fine. Like if I even like peed myself when I was a kid, like that was permanent for the whole day.
But yeah, then Ben gets introduced, and he's the new kid. He's a little chubber, and his interaction with Bev is just like it's hilarious. Like his just constant fumbling and like there's this good 15 second scene where he's just like he's holding this diorama and it's just like fucking falling apart and his headphones are falling off and he's just like his bike's falling over and like.
And even his interactions with her, like the whole New Kids on the Block thing, which was a cute running joke. Right?
Yeah.
He actually liked New Kids on the Block, and then he was like kind of embarrassed about it with what's her name? Sorry again. Beverly. And they were like flirting back and forth because they both really liked each other a lot. So like was like actually really endearing. And then when she takes off and he tries to like pass a line where he's just like, that's also a New Kids on the
New Kids on the Block. Yeah, just like head down and walks away.
So and then after that wonderful little scene, and you kind of get the initial romance between Beverly and Ben. That's when we go off to like again we encounter the kids.
Then we see the Losers Club again.
Yeah, and this is where we get into far more of the humor from Wolfhead's character.
Oh yeah.
This is where he makes one of the most great lines. What was it? It was like they were like, "I'm gonna be stuck inside all summer" or something, and he's like, "Better than being stuck inside your mom."
Yeah, something like that. It was such a simple thing, but like the entire audience cracked up.
Yeah, like so many of those lines. Then they passed them off. What I loved was the delivery between all of them too, because like they would fire one off and the other one would come back. Not like it was scripted, but more like the other kid came up with like literally like better than spending inside your mom.
Yeah, it sounded natural. Like it was nice. So this is the first time they run into the bullies. Like I don't even fucking remember their name now.
I don't even care. They're the bullies.
Yeah, the bullies. And the bullies in this one were like more hardcore than they were in the miniseries. Still not as hardcore as the book, but like they actually like cut Ben and like they actually did shit to him, which was
that was intense.
We're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but yeah, they had the introduction of the bullies. The main bully looked like Kevin Bacon a bit to me.
He did.
He looked like a young Kevin Bacon. He had like the mullet going on and stuff. Like I was like, oh, young.
But
Kevin
it was
Bacon.
good. He was like he did the whole like kind of fracturing psyche thing over the whole thing very well.
Yeah, it was clear like they really played up like this kid's a fucking sociopath.
Yeah.
Like he was cutting Ben and he was gonna shoot the cat and like he clearly was just fucked.
Yeah, and
even
like,
his
the whole
friends
time he
were
was
like
doing it, he was like, "I'm gonna fucking carve my name into you," and then like everyone's like,
yeah, like the kids were like, "Well, don't actually cut him." Like they're like, "We're fucking with him," but like, don't actually cut him. You know, like they're good. But yeah, so like the bullies are intimidating, just like in the miniseries too. Like I think it works well as like a good like natural enemy to these like fucking losers.
Yeah,
and
this is the first communication that scene was the relationship for the main bully there and his dad and everything because he stopped him from getting beaten up right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's just a general introduction to the characters, and then after that, we get our first it scare from one of the
kids. Yeah, we do.
I forget which one it is.
So is it the? It's the Jewish kid, isn't it? Isn't it the painting?
Was it the Jewish kid first? It doesn't matter.
Or do we get or do we get the scene with Ben getting cut on his stomach first? No, that's when they're. Yeah, when they go into the storm drain. So
they did two scares before that happened. With two getting because he frightens people more and more, and the more frightened they get, the more tasty they are.
He said, in the book he says it's like salting the meat to eat these children when they're scared.
Yeah. So I mean, it doesn't matter what the order is, but like Pennywise at this point, as in the book and as in the miniseries and stuff like that, periodically goes through each kid and starts doing things to freak them out.
I mean, yeah, when you really boil down like what the movie is, it's like here's a scene with every one of them getting scared. And then the finale, like every one of them gets like their own.
I thought they broke.
The first one is it Mike the black kid, and he sees the
hands,
the burned hands crawling out of the door, and you see Pennywise like in a tank, like a watery tank,
and then like he's hanging on like by a chain or something, and then like he unravels.
And the bullies like run him down in a car, which is like that's kind of extreme.
Yeah, and then the guy who comes out probably saw the car bulldozer and goes, "Are you all right?"
Yeah,
like not what the fuck.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah.
I remember this is off.
Parents are so, and the adults in this town are so bad with kids. Like no wonder they're all dying.
Yeah,
you're just leaving them outside and going, "Go." I really don't give a fuck.
It's the '80s.
And if you go missing, we'll just keep stapling more papers on top.
Raise yourselves.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in like grade school, me and another kid got in a fight. It was like grade 2 or something. Like it was very young, and like the kid ended up throwing sand in my eyes, and then like I had sand in my eyes, and I was crying obviously because it hurts, and I'm like my face is covered in like tears and sand and shit. And I went up to the teacher and I was like, can I go to the bathroom because the doors are locked when did recess or whatever? And he was like bends over the waist and looks me in the face and says, "Why?" And I'm like. It's clear that I'm fucked up. Like, I was just like, what the fuck? And like, I just walked away like a dolphin.
Mm-hmm. I've had exact moments like that when I was younger too. Yeah,
I was like, fucking stupid adult. The adults in it are fucked. And I mean, even in the book, right, it plays a lot into the corruption in Derry a lot more about how like the adults are corrupt and they don't give a fuck and like they just kind of like turn a blind eye to the quote unquote curse of the town and stuff. There's like,
yeah, just let our kids get eaten, whatever.
yeah. Curfew at 7, that'll save them from the fucking demon clown.
But yeah, it was a good scene. I mean, it was a slow introduction, and obviously we're not going to go kicking off.
I think actually that one was probably one of the weaker ones.
Yeah, but it's like, let's ramp up, right? Like,
totally, yeah. Start.
Let's not like go in with our biggest scare. Let's just show that this thing's out there hunting. So that was fine. It was a good scene, and then I think we move on to after that is then the
Jewish kid with the painting.
Yeah.
There's a painting in his dad's office that he's clearly like, I don't even like this painting at all.
Which is like from the book, right? Because like he's always passed by this painting every single time he has to drop off. He's doing his what is that called for the Jewish community when they do the becoming a man?
He's doing his bar mitzvah, and he has like to quote something.
He has to memorize a certain
passage,
amount of passage, and it's quoted all in Hebrew. And when he has to, like, when he fails, because his dad's very religious and very strict, he has to bring the book up to the room, and every single time he went up, he always had to pass by this awful painting he hated that was always crooked, but at the same time as well, it's this warped, weird image, right?
Yeah.
And it just always bothered him and scared him, and he doesn't like it. And this time he decides to fucking look at it, which I'm like, why now? Like, now is the worst time to sit there and be like, I'm going to man up and...
Well, wasn't it like he wasn't looking at it when he came in? He had his hand up beside his eyes, and then he put the book down, and he looks back, and the painting is turned over. And then he like took it and he turned it over to.
No, like, he put the book. He didn't want to look at it. He still had the book in his hand. He righted it, like he corrected it.
Oh, corrected it. That's what it was.
And then he went back, put the book down, and it fell on the ground.
Oh, and then he picks it up and it's not there anymore.
It's not in the picture anymore, which is great. I like that. Good setup.
Yeah.
And of course, it's behind him.
Surprise!
Surprise! It's still. I mean, it was creepy, but again, I always thought with the entire thing throughout the whole movie. When I remember reading in the book and stuff like that, I thought that they could have gone way more fucked up with that picture.
With the painting in general.
And what she would have looked like at the end of the day, too, right?
Like, and it's just basically like, it's the painting, but with some teeth.
Yeah.
You know?
And like, that was the only uninspired design for me anyway. And like, I was like, come on, it's art. You guys could have just hired an artist and been like, fuck this up for me. And then we could have gone a lot further with it. But good scene. Yeah. Good scene. And then after that, I think that's when we do the bully scene where he gets cut.
Yeah, they have some plan to go into the storm drains, right? Like Bill goes home and like shows his dad. He's like, George, you must have come out in the fucking pipes. And he's like, do not try to solve the murder of your young brother.
Yeah, he's just like, he's dead. Fuck you. And he walks off, and you're like, whoa, okay.
You're like, I guess.
I was like,
everyone deals with loss differently.
Like, you guys just don't care, and you also apparently don't care about the mental health of your child.
No. He's like reconstructing drains to like solve this mystery like a young Sherlock Holmes.
And you're like going like, this is
stop.
Like, this is actually very upsetting. He shouldn't be doing these things. Instead, he's just like, child is dead.
What would your mother think?
Yeah.
I don't want her to see this. Yeah, it's shit like that.
Yeah. So when they go to the drain to go and try and see if they can find any evidence of I forgot the names. I keep blanking on them.
What?
The brother, the little brother.
Oh, Georgie.
And again, great camaraderie scene, more awesome lines.
Yeah, the Jewish kid and the hypochondriac kid are like sitting outside the storm drain, like, we're not going in there.
And they're freaking out. And the hypochondriac kid did great. I thought he did a great job as a hypochondriac kid.
Totally, yeah.
Like, he didn't really pick up in the beginning as that kid. I was still trying to pick them out.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, when I started seeing him, like, freaking out about everything and talking. Like,
when you see his mom later on, you're like, oh, it's him.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But, like, he's always constantly picking up on and quoting, just like, oh, you go here and you're gonna get this and you have that and this and that and this that, right?
Yeah, he's talking about AIDS and stuff and like, yeah, you can get it and all this shit. Like,
so the kid, the fat kid, Ben gets cut that H on his stomach and then rolls down the side of the mountain or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Roadside. And he runs down the river to get away from the bullies, and then that's when he runs into the losers crew, and they help clean him up. But during this time when they're in the drain, they find the shoe of
another missing kid.
The missing kid of the girl before, realizing that there's probably more kids missing and more stuff in there. And then they decide, obviously, they're going to help the kid who's being cut up.
Yeah, so they go to the pharmacist, like, Shoppers Drug Mart type place.
But isn't this time one of the other bullies goes into one of the other tunnels?
Oh, yes, yeah.
And he's in there with his fire going to try and, like, catch the fat kid. And that's when he sees a bunch of dead people. It was a fine scene.
It was fine. It was like again one of like the lamer things, I think.
Yeah, it kind of falls back into the realm of like how good the other ones are in comparison. Like,
I thought we might get the I forgot what part it's in the original one, but the bully. Remember the bully in the miniseries whose hair turns white because he sees its deadlights or whatever, and he just like gets totally fucked. and the other one who just gets like sucked in that really small drain, like his like legs and arms fold up, and he's like into the drain. Like I thought something like that might happen to this guy, but it was just like zombies got him. Like, I was like, all right.
Well, I like that scene for just the end part where the balloon came up, and then it came around. And it was like, "I love dairy."
Oh yeah,
and then it popped, and he was right there behind it, and they just went up and ate him. So that was like I mean, it was a good general like non-cared character though, right? Like I didn't care about this character.
No, yeah,
the bully who was
random bully number 3. Like yeah, no one cared.
I don't even think they said his name. So
no,
he was dead, and then you're right. Like after that, they go to get into
pharmacy to go get supplies to help Ben.
And that's when they run into
Beverly. She's there buying tampons for the first time.
Which I love that scene just as a great little juxtaposition of being a woman for the first time, where you have to go pick up your pads. You only have a dad. No one's telling you about this stuff, and you're going to stand in front of that giant wall of different wings and different absorbencies and different
she's
tips.
looking at them like...
And her hand's like, these ones.
This one, yeah. And then she sees another girl from the school and like hides it behind her back, and then goes in the other aisle and meets the Losers Club.
And she helps them shoplift out all the stuff because they don't have enough money.
Oh, this is the other creepy adult.
Oh, fucking... Yeah, there's so many creepy, perverted adults going after this girl. Like, so many of them are chasing underage women.
Like, she like tries to be a little like flirtatious with him. Like, oh, your glasses, you look like Clark Kent. Yeah. Can I try them on? And he's like, you look like Lois Lane. Like, I was like, holy fuck.
They couldn't have like. I swear to God, the makeup artist went in there and was like, I'm gonna make sure your wrinkles are all like really, really strongly showing. I'm gonna make you look as gross as possible, because like I've seen that actor before in other movies, and I don't think he's that gross looking most of the time. So they really pumped that up. But yeah, like the whole scene, you're like,
just this lecherous older man. I was like, oh, fuck.
And he's just giving in like right away, like no questions asked. As a pharmacist,
yeah,
like, a trained doctor, and he's just like, yeah, young
little girl tang. Like no,
no, you don't.
I mean, she pulls some shit,
and she's also the part that grossed me out about it is she's sitting there with the pads on the counter, and he's basically looking at her, going, oh, she's fresh now.
Yeah,
like, ew,
ripe,
right, yeah,
ripe for the picking. Yeah, like that was fucked. So then, yeah, she makes a distraction so the Losers Club can get out there. She steals some cigarettes, whatever. They go out there, patch him up. Fucking Richie Wolf Die Hard, or what the fuck's his name is. Yeah. He keeps saying he's like, you gotta suck the wound. He just will not let that go. Just great. And the hypochondriac kid obviously already knows about patching people up and stuff. Yeah. He's fucked. His mom's fucked, so like patching Ben up and stuff, and like. Again, it's just little moments of these kids like interacting and like.
I've almost forgotten all the lines just because there were so many of them, but they were so good, and the camaraderie and the communication between them, and even the Wolfhard's character there, he played it so well. Like even in that moment, because I remember in the book, one of the things I always found was very odd was how he always kept on doing like weird voices, like when he picked up the stick in the drain, and he was like, "It doesn't smell like kakatumi," and he was doing it in a weird voice. Yeah. And even in the joke, he's like, I got a big stick right here. Like, all these, like, kind of jokes with weird voices and stuff. And then when he's patching him up, he's doing, like, a British voice. And they're all like, why do you need a British voice to patch him up? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, it's great.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic.
He was fantastic from the beginning to the end. Even during the horror scenes when he's getting attacked, he's awesome.
Did we miss the Ben scene with him in the library when he's flipping the pages and the...
Yeah, maybe that did happen before this scene, or maybe
I think so. Oh yeah, no, it does. It happens right before that because the bully's outside the library.
Right.
Fucking the other adult, the librarian's like, "Don't you have any friends?" I was like, "This is rude to say to a child."
Yeah, I like how he shut her down, because like I would have thought like he would have been like, "Oh yeah, I don't have any friends," and she'd be like, "Well, you should have friends. Here's your book." Instead, he's just like, "Fuck you, give me my book." Yeah, which I'm like, yeah, it's good kid. Like, just give you the fucking book. What is her role in your parenting? You know, like none whatsoever. So he's flipping through the book and he's starting to put together all the information.
There's just like instances of like the black spot and Pennywise the dancing clown and stuff, and he's just like flipping through, and then the book starts like just like zooming in on the page basically, and then
zooms into a kid's body or head in the tree.
Oh yeah, this is one of our favorite ones actually. Favorite scares.
Scares. So like he finishes that and slams it shut because he gets scared about seeing the kid's body or head in the tree. And then the balloon, the iconic balloon floats by in the back, which I loved. That was great. Yeah, it just floated off. I did at this very moment going like, why are you fucking chasing the eggs, you little fatty? Like, what do you think is in there? What do you think is in there?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. Like, I would not have gone down that hall.
No.
Even if I didn't know anything existed, if I saw a balloon float down a hall and a little burning egg, I'd be like,
no.
I'd have been, fuck that, I'm out.
Yeah. Like, no.
But he follows it all the way down, and picks up all the eggs. And this is one of the best visual freak out. Because it's not like a scare; it's more just like really disturbing.
Yeah, it was a shock. Like it was like it's very once you see it, you're like, of course. But like it was like he looks back and he sees this like body kind of like almost stop motion, like kind of just like walking down the stairs slowly.
It had a great set of motion, like weird, creepy.
Yeah, like the really edgy like fucking walk.
And the camera angle was so good is that it kept stepping down more and more would get revealed, and then the moment he hit one step, there was not enough space to go above the neck, but it perfectly cut the line.
Yeah.
When the next step came, that line was exactly where the head was cut off.
Yeah, and it reveals he's headless because just the way they framed the shot. And I was like, oh, so good.
So good.
And then it just starts running at him.
Yeah. And the headless body is the headless body of the kid's head that he saw in the book. That's why he's scared. And it starts chasing him. When it was fucking chasing him, I was like, Jesus motherfucking Christ! Like I was like,
that was intense. No, that was an intense scene.
And then running down I thought maybe he would take off down the periodicals, and then they just wouldn't show it again, and he'd be like, oh, it's gone, and you just got that little glimpse, and he'd be like, oh, it's scarier because you didn't see it that often.
Yeah.
Instead, it's just right fucking behind him the whole time.
Yep.
Showing that it is Pennywise transformed, and that's what I loved about all the horror scenes with Pennywise is that it was all him shapeshifted, right? Yeah. Like, and that was him. It wasn't like there's some invisible thing that he's just putting illusions out there to go get you. It was fucking Pennywise standing behind you looking like a dead body.
Yeah, like he's physically with you at that point.
Yeah.
And he appears in front of them at that point too, Pennywise. And
it like goes, hey kid, or whatever, I forget what he said.
You know, girly boy?
Girly boy.
Is that the one he calls girly boy?
No, titty.
Yeah. Titty, yeah, whatever his name is, Tits.
Tits. But yeah, then he runs into the library and then takes off.
And then that's when all the fucking shit happens. So back to the patching up thing. What happens after that?
After they patch up?
Yeah.
Well, that's when they start riding along, and that's after. Fuck.
I think it's Bill's turn to see Pennywise in his house, and that's the scene that you see in a lot of the trailers.
Didn't they go to his house?
Or they go to Ben's house?
Ben's house, and they were like, "There's all sorts of other times this has happened," or was that after?
It was in that area. So maybe they go to Ben's house first, and they're looking at all these other things that have happened in Derry, and like
I love she opens the door and there's a New Kids with a Block poster.
Yeah, that was really good.
She looks at him and he's like, "No."
Yeah,
she puts it back.
It was a good moment between just the two of them, even in a group of other people. Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
And that was another thing. It's like it's nice to see like all the characters interact individually rather than just like in a group sometimes. Like,
and it was in the scene that our favorite line from Wolfhard's.
Yes, yeah. They're like, oh yeah, this town used to be like they traded so many beaver pelts that it used to be called Beaver Town, and then he's like, still is, am I right, boys? And he like puts his hand up, like no one comments. I was like, you're like fucking 12. What are you talking about?
You're gonna be a fun adult, that's for sure.
Yeah. So that was great. And then I think it's Bill's turn to get scared, and it's the scene you've seen in all the trailers. It's the one with Pennywise, submersion water. Georgie saying, "You'll float too, you'll float too, you'll float too."
But there was some good illusions with this stuff, because, I know what scene was before this. Before they did that, they went out to the water and did the, jumping off into the quarry.
Oh, that was after this. But, whatever.
Because he still had the patch on his stomach at that point, and they went off alone, and they said, well, because at the pharmacy, they said, we're going to the quarry tomorrow. Do you want to meet us there to Beverly?
Yes, yeah.
And then they went to the quarry, and they all just, were spitting off, and one of them was a loser spitting.
Yes, they're on a loogie contest.
And then they all jumped in. And that was a great scene. I loved how it lightened everything because we went through so many scares at that point.
Yeah.
And then I was like, uh-oh. And then they just jumped in, and everything was light again, and the music was light, and they were having a really good time. And the bonding suddenly happened. Like, I now was totally acceptable to having Beverly there. She was part of the crew. She was having a good time.
They're all wrestling on each other's shoulders and stuff.
And playing. And then they saw a turtle under the water.
Yes, they saw a turtle. So if you don't know, it's fucked up. Like, the whole book... the book
goes really far off at the end of it.
Yeah, it goes like it's a transdimensional being, and he's chaos, and I think the turtle is consumption. Or, Pennywise is consumption, and the other one is, completion or something. So they're always at odds. Like, the turtle god created the world. It's a giant turtle. But there is a scene, and I think it's purposeful, where they because it's this music montage of them all having fun, and then all of a sudden he's comes up submerged. He's like, I saw a turtle, and it's
I stepped on something moved by. It was a turtle.
Yeah. And I was like, okay,
maybe a nice nod right there.
Yeah, I was like,
who read the book.
Okay, the turtle's already quote unquote watching them. Maybe maybe that's that thing.
Which is great, and then they swim around and have a good time, and then that's when they go to that, because they sit down and they start going through his bag. Remember Ben's bag?
Yeah.
And that's when they start finding the information, and then they go to Ben's house.
And then they go, yes. They also have a great scene where Beverly's sunbathing in her.
And they're all literally
and they're all just fucking staring at her, and she opens her eye a little bit, and they're all like, da da da. That was funny. Yeah. So you're at the Ben thing, and then maybe the Bill scare. And I always feel like it was much less obvious in this movie than it was in the miniseries or even the book, but like especially the book because the book takes so long to read. It always seems like longer has passed, but like they have these like horrifying experiences and never think to mention it to each other.
No, they never mentioned it to each other at all at this point. And that was one of the things I'm like, why has no one talked about the fact that you just saw a leper and then it turned into a clown?
Yeah, like I saw a headless boy. Like no.
No. Like why would you not bring this up? And then so yeah, look for the scare for Bill. It starts off with him going down and grabbing something, and then like the light in Georgie's room turns on, and in there he finds another turtle. He picks up the turtle, Lego turtle, which is another nice nod to the whole turtle thing.
Yeah.
Then he chases Georgie downstairs into the cellar, which like all houses shouldn't have cellars, just as a rule. That's just the best way to avoid things. Down there, of course, Georgie's in the corner, and he does the "we all float down here" thing, which is iconic. Well done. Execute that scene exactly how I would want it to be.
Yep.
Good tension, all that kind of stuff. And then Pennywise, floats up behind him. It looks like he's using him as a mannequin. I thought I saw his arm, like, behind his back.
In Georgie? He raised it up really slowly, and then, like, when Georgie's, like, at the peak of his fucking, like, screaming the same phrase over and over again, he just kind of slaps him down into the water, and, like, it's, like, blood. Like, he just, like, slaps him down, I think. You could be right. He could have been, like, had his hand up his ass and working his mouth like a puppet, but, like,
it looked like he was using him as a puppet when he came up.
It could have been that, too.
Which would have been cool.
Good observation, yeah.
And then, this actually was one of the good chase scenes, too, because, like, then Pennywise pops up and then lunges at Bill, and Bill runs away. And then when Pennywise hit the stairs sideways, and like just like he missed, because he's looking at him, he's like, "Fuck, I missed" or whatever, and he's like,
and he just kind of like his head just like slides away, like
And you're like, Jesus, like they did so many good things with that. The motions on Pennywise and him moving and being scary and hunting and stuff like that, and also still being a clown. All masterful done, like well job to the actor.
A lot of his motions are very like Silent Hill-esque. Like they're very influenced from like the way the nurses move or the way the
he did a really
or
good...
Lisa from PT. You know?
Yeah, no, totally. He did a good job of going like, okay, I'm going to move. I need to be human, but I need to do one small thing every time that it is upsetting. Right?
Yeah, it's just slightly off. It's that uncanny valley of like, what the fuck?
Like, I'm going to charge at you, but I'm just going to wiggle my head a bit and just the right way. And then when I hit the stairs, I'm going to slap myself sideways. I'm going to, like, just move my eyes slightly up and slide.
Yeah,
and
slide away.
You're just like, yeah.
There's something about, like, watching him talk. He had that kind of, like, lisp, like, where he was like, take it. And then, like, he had this, like, big bottom lip, and I was like...
in his face. I couldn't stop looking at his mouth. I was like, it's the thing, too. Like, I never would want to put my hand near that mouth.
Yeah, he's that super sharp,
at the same time, I kind of want to go up and just be like, burp, 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 burp. But I'm just like, I want to just, like, find out how this works.
So Bill gets scared, and I think Bill getting scared, he's the last one, and then I think they talk about it.
Because Wolfhard hasn't been scared yet.
No, you're right. Yeah,
but then Beverly scares next.
Beverly she gets a fucked up one. So her dad is all lecherous and fucking weird too, and like always talking about like, are you still daddy's girl?
Daddy's girl, because like she's bleeding now. And
she actually has that like it was way before this, but she has that scene where like he like sniffs her hair and like
that was the same scene. Like
strokes it.
It's all part of the same one. She walks home inside with the Tampax, right?
No. That was the first one. It's like a more normal scene. It's the first time we see her at home.
Right, you're right.
And he sniffs her hair, and she does the cutting off thing.
Yeah.
And then wait.
No, you're right.
And then later on, the hair comes back, and that's where the blood comes. Right? Yeah. Okay. So
like,
it's two separate scenes.
Yeah, because she walks in with the Tampax stuff, right? And he looks in the bag, and he's like, "What do you got there?" And then he's like, "Oh, Tampax," and then he sniffs her, like as if he's like smelling if she's ripe.
Yeah.
And then like lets her go, and then that's why she's like, "I'm dirty," and she cuts her hair off. And you're right. Now we go back ahead to where we are currently.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And this was great. Like I mean, as
the cutting the hair off scene was really good. Like I thought that was like a nice.
She was awesome. Like Beverly is probably next to Wolfhard and Beverly, two favorite kids.
Yeah, she was a really good actress.
She was
like,
excellent.
I don't know how old she is, but like super good.
In the original miniseries, I didn't like her as much. I always felt she was like a little bit too cunty and slutty and stupid, and I just really didn't like the character very much. And even in the books, I never emphasized. I like this character a ton in this movie.
Totally.
But
I really like that they didn't like vocalize a lot of her like clear struggles she had. There was no like her like looking off in the distance like, my dad abuses her, he's fucking weird, like you know, like anything like that. It was just like visual storytelling the entire way through. Like we get it, he's fucked. You cut your hair off to look a little bit more like a boy, then comments on it later, to just like ward him off more. So anyway, she's in the bathroom.
She got the card from Ben, and she sat down on the tub.
Right, the poetry.
Yeah, to read the poetry and stuff, and she was really moved by it.
And she thinks it's Bill at that point.
I think it's Bill at that point. And that's when we get the very iconic scene of the drain talking to her. We all float down here. You can float too.
She takes a tape measure. She runs out, gets a tape measure, and like tries to put it down to the very thing, which is like kind of like, I mean, aside from the fact that I'd be scared as fuck if something started talking to me on my drain, like I was like, oh, that's like a good way to like, you're trying to make sure nothing is actually in there technically, right? And then,
but my first one was like, what are you measuring? Like, what do you expect? Like, where do you think this is gonna go?
I think she was trying to hit something. Like if anything was down there, it would have hit earlier than like. She hit the bottom of the drain. She was trying to make sure, like, she was like, okay, there's nothing down there.
She had, like, the whole tape measure out. Yeah, she pulled it out, and it was with blood and some hair and stuff. And then that hair started, like, grabbing her and trying to pull her in and, like, latching onto her and stuff, which was creepy.
This reminded me of Evil Dead a lot with the tree rape scene. And she doesn't get raped by her hair, but, like, it reminded me of that, like, strong vibes of just, like, the blood red that just fills the entire room, and it's just cascading down.
Shot, like, because the blood bubbled up and shot her in the face. Although her mouth was open, I was like, girl, if at that point I wouldn't have my mouth open, I'd be going, So she just got a full fucking throat full.
Yep.
And it bursts out and sprays everywhere, knocks her back. And, like, I loved it covering the room and making the room red, so the lighting in the room went red.
Yep.
I thought that was ingenious cinematography. I was like, Jesus, that's so good. What a way to change the color and tone of your entire scene.
Yep.
And then she collapses in the corner and screams, and the dad comes in and doesn't see a thing.
No.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the adults never see anything. So then she brings over the Losers Club. She's like, I gotta make sure I'm not fucking crazy.
Yeah. And
they all help clean it up.
My only thing with this scene was that they're all helping her clean up, and they all just what happened, and she's like, I can see what they can't see. They're not even talking right now. They're just like, let's just clean this up.
Yeah.
They had no discussion about anything yet.
Yeah, she wasn't like, oh yeah, crazy hair came out of the bathroom and fucking...
Or like, I caused this. My vagina exploded.
I literally expected, I literally thought that's why they left Richie outside, because he would come in and make a period joke, and there's blood all over. So I thought they would be like, okay, we're leaving him outside, so none of them comment on that. And I thought they'd have a serious conversation about Pennywise or something, and like they didn't. They were just like, okay.
And then a bunch of like fucking 10 and 11-year-olds clean up blood. In a fun musical montage. Which was perfect. The music was great. Like the 1980s like cut-in times with the music for like the actual 1980s music to give you that kind of sensation and scene. It was excellent.
Yeah.
So they cleaned it up, and at that point I'm just like, okay, you did this strange scene so well. I don't care about you filling it in. So yeah, then the next part, what comes up is when they're finally discussing that. Actually, it's the fact that at this point now they're finally discussing the clown that has tried to eat them.
Like, oh yeah, we've all seen a clown, a murderous clown
that's tried to eat us. And I also in that conversation they never actually even brought up. They're just like, we saw a clown, not like I saw a dead body chase me, and then a clown grew like 6 rows of teeth.
Hypochondriac Kid says a leopard chased me.
Yeah.
Like all the more like the more tame, I guess, ones like. Ben doesn't say like, yeah, headless boy chased me, turned into a clown.
Yeah, like just didn't really specify, but whatever, that's fine. Also, like Beverly didn't see a clown, so I don't see why she was more freaked out by all this. But I guess the sheer fact that blood shot out of her sink, I suppose she'd be like, it's probably related.
Yeah, safe.
It's safe to say.
So they all go to the house. This is the first time?
No, they don't go to the house yet. That's when they do the garage.
Oh right, the projector scene.
Yeah, which is great.
Really good scene.
That was one of the ones, because like, it wasn't like a boo scare. It was just fucking kind of horrifying because of the way it was set up. So they go into the fucking garage and they take his dad's map again and they overlay the old one and they figure out that this all happens in the sewers.
Yeah, like
every place that's connected is...
Yeah, it's all near the sewers, and then everything goes back to like this old well.
Yeah, this old well. And everything that's attached to that old well, they're going to go back and find it. It's at that old house where the leper was seen. Oh, but we didn't talk about the leper scene, because that was the one that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine, I don't care.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
No, I know. Anyways, there's a leper scene with one of the only missing kids who hasn't been scared yet, where he goes by that house, and he's a hypochondriac, so he sees a leper chasing down the street, which was actually really intimidating for like how close it was to him the whole time, because like it came up and handed him the pill, and then it's like sitting there the whole time going like, blah, 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 and like all over him and shit, and then like then that's the big from the trailer Pennywise scene is when he looks back, the leper's gone, and then there's the triangle of balloons, and then there's Pennywise, who's like, it's time to float, and then didn't get why at that exact moment, especially considering how close they are to the house, he didn't chase him. Like he just went to the fence and he's like, that's as far as I can go.
Yeah.
And you're like, really? Like,
I guess
you're going way further than that for like the fucking library. So anyways, going back to the
another thing is just like, I don't know if it's nitpicking, but like I get he likes to salt the meat before he eats them, right? He's scaring all these kids. That bully that he ate, he like scared him and ate him immediately. These other kids, he's really seasoning. You know what I mean? Like,
well, maybe he thinks that there's like more fear to be drawn out. Like certain ones, there's like more to it, right? Like maybe the bully doesn't have a fucked up past or a major fear of his own.
Maybe. But it's just kids, like zombies.
Yeah, like exactly. But like these kids have stuff like I watched my parents burn, or my brother died, or I'm abused by my father, etc. Right?
Good point.
So he's like, there's so much more to work with here to make them really quite flavorful. But yeah, we're back to the garage scene. They're going over like the projector of.
We already talked about all this.
Yeah, like all that stuff, and then it just starts clicking over to the family slides.
Yeah.
And on its own, the machine obviously doesn't do this normally.
Yes.
So they're all like, "Who's doing it?" And then this is a scene that's spoiled long ago.
You see, Pennywise is the mother's face is clouded by hair, and then it just slowly starts revealing Pennywise's face, and then Richie starts freaking out, like, "Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that?"
Yeah,
and then,
because Richie's the one who hasn't seen anything yet, hasn't been scared at all, and he says that he's afraid of clowns. So
of course,
which is like great. You have like the worst fear of them all. So he anyway, so the fucking Pennywise is in the picture, and they're all freaking out, and it's starting to move faster, so it's looking like more and more real, like an animation sequence, which is a great idea.
Well, and they do this in a lot of horror movies, and it always is effective to me. It's the like black and then lights up, and then black and then lights up again. Like they did, like going back to like fucking Saw 1. There's a scene where they're illuminating stuff with camera lights, like as he's going through. So you see this like shot of like the room for like 1 second, and it's black, and you hear them moving and stuff. And that's what it's doing with the slide thing. It was black, and then all of a sudden Pennywise, and he's huge. And
that's when they freaked out though, and they're like, trash it, and they trashed it. But then there was just this one shot that was flashing, and then suddenly Pennywise is huge on that screen. And then he looks to his side and he sees the kid standing next to it, which I would have been like, I'm not standing anywhere near that fucking picture.
Yeah, no.
But that kid's just standing next to it going, ah. And that's when he comes out huge. And that whole sequence of him like charging out through the garage all huge and shit.
Yeah, really good.
Like my skin was crawling. I was like, motherfuck.
It was such high intensity. And like, it's one of those things where like, you know they're not going to die. But like in the moment, like I'm not thinking about anything but the scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just fully enveloped, and I'm like, fuck, like, this is
fucking horrifying.
Like, nothing else is going on in my brain. I'm not even, like, I'm not analyzing anything. I'm just like, boop, 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 intense.
Yeah. So totally engrossed. Great shots, great scene. Pennywise itself, the same thing, movements, and the whole, like, charging at Beverly was really fucking scary.
And then they just open the garage door
and get the light in. Which I'm like, why would that stop him? Like, light never scared him before.
Again, he salted the meat, right? Like, he could have eaten them plenty of times by now, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Like, I'm sure he could have grabbed any one of them. And then that's when they decide that they have to try and take this thing out. That's when Bill goes like, "That's it. I've got to go to this house. I'm going to go to this house no matter what."
Yeah. And he has a good little speech at the front of the house. Where he doesn't stutter once, which is a nice little character moment.
Yeah, and a couple of people want to stay behind, but they all put their hand up. That was cute.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
And then when he goes into the smart mouth one, he's like, "Fuck! Like I had to draw the fucking short straw. If we were measuring dicks, I would have won."
Yeah. Then they go in the spooky crack house.
Yeah. I missed a little portion of this because I had to go pee, though. So that's actually going to be interesting for me is what I missed. Because like, I saw when they got in.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then when I came back, I saw the scene where Smart Mouth kid...
was in the clown room?
Was in the clown room.
I'm sure you gathered, the hypochondriac kid, the floor opened up in front of him and he fell down one level. Yeah. And he broke his arm. Okay. Like, that was it? Then basically.
That's basically
it. It's basically them looking around. No, like, Pennywise appearances or anything yet.
Yeah. The Smart Mouth kid was freaking out, though, because he found a missing poster for himself.
Yeah,
that was neat.
Yeah, that was a nice little touch.
Yeah.
He started freaking out, and then he goes in this room and gets locked in, and it's just a room of clowns, and that's where you see the old Tim Curry Pennywise, like, little doll statue thing, and a bunch of just incarnations of Pennywise-looking clowns.
That was a good scene, though. I like the whole clown portion of it. Like, he's in there and he sees the clown, he's like, stupid clowns. Because, like, the character, being so smart mouth, didn't just abandon his character. He was still a smart mouth kind of badass kid, and he literally just walked over to the coffin, and it was just like, fuck this shit. It's just like, he's like, fuck it, like, not like,
yeah, he closed it, and then Pennywise, and that was great. I love Pennywise, like, jack-in-the-boxing out, and like his whole like stance, jumping in front of him, and he charges at him and he gets pulled out. One thing I gotta cover with all of this stuff, though, is that
each of these scenes has small, intricate components of itself in its horror that were really great. They're tropes and sometimes, but they're still really well executed. Like with Bill's, when Georgie is like running through the house, and there was that silhouette of a shadow on the door, like behind him when he heard the walking, and then when he turned around and then the silhouette moved and ran away. Like, it's not new. It was just also wonderfully executed.
It's well done. It's well done from
every one of these scenes has more going on to it than what we're describing. We're glossing over so many details that make these far more intense, and that's part of the huge enjoyment of this whole movie, is that there's so much in the dialogue of the characters and what they say.
It's strange to say, but it's always a delight when Pennywise is back. Like, it's always like, oh, good.
Yeah, like here we go. We're like, what's going to happen next?
Yeah, it was really fun. So then, hypochondriac kid falls to the floor, breaks his arm, and Pennywise is in that fridge, and he like unfurls himself from like upside down, and like his body is just like contorted in a weird way, and his torso like flips around like he's a transformer or something. Yeah, it's like jerk, like, oh fuck, that was a great scene. I loved that. Yeah, really loved that.
And stands over the kid saying like, you know, you're gonna float too, and you're like gonna eat him. Upstairs, smart mouth kid and Bill get shown 3 doors. One's like scary,
not very scary, and very scary. Yeah,
which is such a great clown joke to do.
Really loved that.
It was great. And they're looking at it, they're like, what the fuck? So of course they're going to choose the not scary door. And he's like about to eat a hypochondriac kid. And then Bill decides, like, let's not be afraid because it's not real.
Yeah. They open the door and it's a girl with half her body
cut, which was like, I'm like, I could have done a little better with what
I thought something more shocking would be in there.
Because like after everything they've seen, after everything, that's what gets them. At this point they've been like, dude, old hat.
Yeah.
Like,
just close the door.
That probably would have been our reaction. It would have been like, seen it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then Bill, tells him, he's like, we just can't be afraid of it.
Yeah, which is the first click in that you don't have to be afraid.
Yep.
And then they charge the door, and that freaks Pennywise out because he's like, oh shit, they figured out they don't have to be afraid.
Yep.
Which stops him from about eating.
He did, I think, a cool thing here. He's done like a lot of cool things with the teeth and the like. It's kind of like almost like
a mouth in a mouth.
Yeah, almost like a mouth in mouth thing where his gums are sliding out with his like. It's almost like this like extra appendage. It reminds me of the alien at the end of Prometheus, almost the top slide thing. Yeah, he has a lot of great little mouth moments that I liked. And so then they come down. They start like freaking out at him, and then like Pennywise goes ham on them. And Beverly comes out of nowhere, right, with a pipe?
Well, I mean, like, with this whole scene that they come in and they're like, we don't have anything to be afraid of, and that's when Pennywise clicks in and he's like, fuck, Bill's a threat. So, like, he looks over Bill, he's got nothing to be afraid of, or like, I'm completely real. And he goes ham on them, starts tossing them around.
Yeah, like he's like, this is happening right now.
Yeah. And then when I think was charging in at one of them, Beverly like gets him right through the head, spears him through the head with
like through one of his eyes. Yeah. And it was really cool, like mangled, like his head was like kind of like wider at that point, and his eyes like freaking out.
And he's bleeding upwards versus gravity.
Yeah,
That was kind of cool, like just to like be like, this thing doesn't do anything normal. I thought that was great. It was a really good like fuck yeah moment as well. And then like that's when things like he starts to split, like his mouth split along the side of his face a bit. Yeah. Because like he's just like giving up on the form, so there's like more teeth going on. Yeah. And it starts to freak out, and like fingers like there is something underneath the skin of this.
Yeah,
creature.
It's way more like it's really claw like.
Yeah. He claws up the fat kid.
Ben. Oh, Ben. Yeah, he does that again.
Yeah. He claws up Ben's stomach, and then like he's obviously injured, so he like kind of recoils. Everyone's freaking out about Ben, and
he goes back down in the well.
Bill chases him to the well and then goes back and helps his friend. In this whole component, everyone freaks out, and this is in the moment of the book where like they're all like, "We can't do this. We're all too afraid." Which we're like, "All right, fine." And then Bill... Oh, no. This is when, after they all split up, and they're all like, we're not going to do anything, and they all take a time to relax. And I'm like, why are you relaxing? You didn't do anything. You should be, like, sitting in your house next to another human being.
I mean, you stabbed it in the head. Like, that was pretty good. Yeah, it's more than...
Like, it's still very much alive, and you pissed it off.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, let's just not. They go to Bev, and she's in her house, and she was about to go out, and then the father tries to rape her. Which is really fun.
Really rapey scene, yeah. He's like,
there's a lot of pedophilia, creepy rape stuff, which added a whole layer of grossness to this movie, which I liked. Like, it was so upsetting.
You can't trust the adults, and these kids are growing up too fast. That's what this whole, like, there's, like, an underlying theme of these kids having to deal with all this stuff way too early.
But they're doing it well.
Yeah, they're handling it.
Yeah, they're doing it.
And yeah, your dad he's like, of all the things to freak out about, it's like, you didn't find a pack of condoms or something. He's like, a fucking poem. Like,
Yeah.
So he makes a move on his daughter and, like, pins her down, and she just, like, very satisfyingly, like, sacks him and, like, hits him in the head.
That was a great, I fucking love that. Like, she's hiding in the bathtub.
Yes.
And I'm just like, girl, come on. And then he slides it over and she whacks him in the head with the top of the toilet. I'm like, fucking go, girl. And then, of course, you have Pennywise.
And Pennywise is right there. Kidnaps her.
Yeah.
Or, brings her to the sewer, I guess.
Yeah. And then Bill goes to go see her, and on the roof is written, if you come, you die, or...
If you try, you die.
If you try, you die, which is great. I love the line.
Yeah. He sees her father just bleeding out on the floor, and is just like, oh...
Yeah, and just like, let's just leave the bleeding out father on the floor.
It's like, well...
Fucking dirtbag.
Yeah.
It would have been better if he walked over and kicked him once, and then just left. I would have been like, yeah.
But then just a Nelson, like, huh!
Yeah. And the same sound, ooh. And then I understand they were on time constraints, because at this point I was starting to feel like, let's get to the end of this movie. Like, he just goes over and finds his friend playing Street Fighter, and he's just like, we're done, and Bev's kidnapped, we're fine. And the guy just looks over and he's like, processing, we're done.
Yeah.
And, like, apologies accepted.
Yeah.
So they all charge off to the house, and they say, like, if we all stick together, there's nothing to be afraid of, because Bev's right. Like, it was hurt, and it didn't come after us or kill us when we were together.
Yeah.
And we don't have anything to be afraid of. So they go in, they find the well, they start to lower themselves in. Oh, right, and just before this scene, bully guy.
Oh, the bully, yeah.
The bully guy's, like, shooting a cat, like we were talking about before, freaks out, and then his dad comes over and is like, you shouldn't be playing with my gun, and, like, shoots that around his feet.
Like 3 times.
3 times. And this is, like, the final snap for that kid. And then Pennywise, to egg him on a little further, leaves the knife that he dropped inside of the mailbox. He goes in, stabs his dad, whoop-de-doo.
So this is different than the miniseries, because in the miniseries, the bully, like, the only encounter they have in the sewers with him is when that one kid's hair turns white and they just leave. And then when he's a lot older, Pennywise appears in the moon in a terrible effect. And he's like, you need to go kill them because they've all returned. Yeah. So, like, that's not going to happen now, probably, because he might be dead.
Yeah. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's fucking dead.
Fell really far down that well.
Yeah, like, that's a dead kid. So he takes off after killing his dad, and then we go to the well. They start lowering themselves down through the well. They all arm themselves and stuff. The homeschool kid, he has the gun that shoots the bolt into the head of
like a lamb.
Yeah, a lamb. That he's had the whole, like, talking about the whole movie. And they start to go down. They all get in, and then I fucking love this concept art design and everything. As Bev wakes up in the lair of Pennywise.
Oh yeah.
His house and the floating kids.
Yep.
Fuck, I love that. How fucking
great.
well designed was that?
Yeah, it was great. And just like this, like, long upward shot of, like, these like limp bodies floating as it's kind of circling up, but, like, not really, just floating.
Just floating, and they're all floating down there, which I love, getting a full fucking visual for we all float. Like, they're actually fucking floating. And then the house itself is, like, old circus stuff and kids' toys. And then it's like a circus stage. There's a door hatchway for, like, Pennywise. Like, that's where he sleeps and lives.
Yeah.
Right? So well. I was looking at that and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's so well designed.
So he has Bev by the throat, and this is the only time... He never actually says deadlights in this, does he?
Did he?
I don't think he does. I'm reeling from confusion a little bit just because I've read the book now. I read part of the book now, and I watched the miniseries like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm still thinking. I don't think he says deadlights, but that's what he, like, grabs her by the throat, makes her, like, look at him, and he opens his mouth in, like, a kind of a triangular, like...
Yeah,
Guillermo del Toro.
Like a Del Toro face split into 3 parts with teeth.
With a bunch of teeth, and in the very, like, bottom of his throat is, like, these 3 orange lights, which is how it's described in the book, and it's these dead lights, and that's how it, like, renders them, like, unconscious and
so that they can go float up there, and then he can just basically... And I loved also the story component of that visually, to let everyone know without telling the story, is that he's, like, stocking his food, like, that he hypnotizes them all in that fashion, and then has them all float up there, so that he has a stockpile of food for the next 27 years. And then he can just go up and eat and come back down. He doesn't need to hunt again until his supply is gone, right?
Yep.
Like, this animal, and this is like his cave that he's hibernating in, and then, like, this is where he stores his food in this way, and it's all similar but fucked up, right? Yeah. And that whole visually with all of that, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, so losers, then it flashes back to them, and they're going through the sewer.
Well, this is where the black kid kills the bully too, right? They go down the road, they get in, and then that was the only thing was like, he shows up, and then they fight. Okay, great. And a good little, like, you know, scrap fight and stuff, and dodges a little shot to the head, and then pushes him down the well in a full case of manslaughter.
Yep.
And then just goes, all right, let's keep going.
Yeah, well, then, like...
And doesn't even bring it up again. Like,
all I say is, like, holy shit! And he, like, falls down.
Yeah.
Assumably to his death, and then, he was like, okay, I'm coming down, too. It's like, oh.
Or even going down a little further to check, and maybe the bottom was, like, right there, and he's just at the bottom with, like, a couple of broken legs. So, ow. Yeah. They're really broken. Just try standing on this one. You know, like, no, he's just down there.
He's just glossed over and never mentioned again.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, okay,
bully dead. And they don't even react. Like, they know they killed someone, and I understand they have a bigger threat.
They have a bigger threat at the point.
I totally get that. But like later on, they didn't get back and be like, "Did you fucking know that we just totally committed murder?"
Yeah,
like,
they're gonna be asking about him.
Yeah,
I guess. I mean,
you
even
could just
in that
go
situation,
like clown and kill them, like, you know.
You wouldn't even say anything. It's like, whatever. Like, kids go missing here all the time.
Yeah, it's true.
It doesn't even matter. You're not even implicated.
And you killed the police chief, so.
Yeah.
So they go in, and this the only part here was where I started getting a little bit tropey, was like they all kept separating.
Yes.
I was just like, okay, fucking no.
You already know. You already said stick together. You already like all these things. And I understand you're dumb kids, but like, at the same time, come on.
Yeah, so the Jewish kid gets separated, and he sees a scary thing. Now, this was a neat scene, though, is when they found him. Like, Pennywise had his, like, jaws right over his eyes, like, grabbing on the top of his head.
The gums could come out, and the teeth were, like, suctioned onto, like, his cheeks, like, on both sides.
It was over his eyes.
Yeah, or, sorry, the side of his head. Like,
yeah,
it was like, right here.
Yeah, like, if he was alive and currently looking down the mouth of this thing while it was chewing on his head.
Yeah, that was kind of a cool scene. I liked that, even though the painting thing isn't the most original.
No, and then they show up, and they chased it off, and then they go into the space, gloss over this. Fucking Bill chases his brother again like a moron.
Yeah, and it's obviously not him. Shoots his little brother in the head.
No, it's later.
Is that later?
It's later, yeah.
Doesn't he do that first? Oh, they see Beverly first. They see
Beverly first. And then he just looks up at Bev and he's like, I'll come back for you. And you're like, just go fucking grab her. Just fucking grab her.
He jumps once to get her and he's like, I'll come back for you. And it's like, okay, but you know that's not real.
And there's a chair in the pile right next to you. Just like 10 seconds of extra thought. And then he goes off and chases his little brother like a stupid idiot, and everyone else shows up and grabs Bev like with no effort.
Yeah, they just get on each other's like backs.
Like, she's not like even stuck up there. Like, it's like if we slightly shifted her, she moves downwards.
Yep.
And Ben gives her a kiss and wakes her up, which is very sweet and all that. And then this leads to the big climactic battle with Pennywise. Because he says it's not your brother, he says it's goodbye, he shoots it in the head, it turns into Pennywise in an awesome fashion.
Great, like, little, like, sporadic seizure, like arms growing out of the lost limb, and, like, him just, like...
And, like, clown stuff popping out and stuff.
Yeah, right? yeah, they had that really, like, cartoonish, like, the way his leg came out, it was very, like, animated, like, came up, flopped,
like an inflated doll.
And then hit. Yeah. That was fucking awesome. I loved a lot of the visuals in that last fight.
Visuals were so good, and it pops up, and then they're all like, "Don't be afraid," and they start beating the shit out of it.
Yeah, just beating the shit out of this thing.
But this was awesome. I loved that. I was like thinking like, "Oh, here we go. They're gonna like try and like do something clever, and then they're gonna shoot in the head or something, right?" And he shot it in the head before. And
it would have been better. I mean, like, what we got was so much better than like the power of friendship or something.
Yeah,
you know,
or like the imagination stuff. Like they did hit that in the book, but like they only did it once in this because like he's like there's no bullets in the gun, and then he fired it because he didn't know there were no more bullets in the gun, and it still worked, right? But then they didn't do that again. Instead, they just beat the shit out of it with sticks.
Yeah, it was like just punching them, and
they didn't all go, oh. Instead, they're just like, no, fuck, sticks and rocks, and I'm like, yeah, totally.
Yeah. And they're like, when they hit it, his like head turns around, and like he's just getting ate from all fucking angles. He turns into. That's the very end, I guess.
Well, no, he keeps turning into each one of their fears whenever he looked at one of them, and then they all get over it and give him a smack. And then, like, he was chasing after the homeschool kid with his little, like, praying mantis pincers.
Yeah, these two big pincer things.
And in each of these moments were a little bit more of the monster underneath, too, because, like, when it grabbed the homeschool kid, it, like, all the hands that came out were also a bit like tendrils. Like, it had, like, tongues and shit.
His face burst open at some point, right? Yeah, and that was the tentacles and stuff.
And the hands, too, which were sort of like his stuff. So there was a little bit more of that. I did like it wasn't like a giant spider or something.
I almost wish that part was, like, edited less frantically. Like, I get that it's, like, the climactic final battle, and there's a lot of energy going on, and the dynamicism of, like, the camera is moving a lot, and it's working. But I almost wish, like, it would have, like, lingered just for, like, a second longer on some of those forms, because they were so cool.
No, for sure. I thought it might have given it a little bit more time. That would have been a bit better. But they beat the shit out of it enough, after a while. It's all actually still very good scene, very satisfying. And I loved when they all circled around it, and it was down, like, when it was, because, like, its name is It. When it was down, it was like a wounded animal, like, being surrounded by prey kind of thing, and it was, like, I loved all of the time throughout the whole movie that constant allusion back to this just being a predator.
Yeah, he's an apex predator, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And, like, now it's just, like, alone and hurt and wounded and starving, which is awesome. And then, like, they give it another good smack, and
it turns into Bev's dad, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then she, like,
rams
it down his throat, I think.
Yeah, rams the pipe down his throat, which is like the final shot, I guess, even though it just spat it back up.
Yeah, and then that's when he backs off, does that, and like then he just crawls back into the well, or the little attached door.
Well, he starts to like dissolve and shit, and he's looking all scared and like sweaty and stuff. And,
and his head like bursts open, like right.
And Bill's like, "That's what now you're frightened, and what frightens you most is starving." So it crawls back, and then it's like hanging there, and he's like, "Fear," and he lets go and dissolves.
Yeah.
Which I would admit, like, if I was those kids, I would have been like, "Yeah, it died," you know.
Yeah.
So, like, I was wondering how they were going to tackle that in case instead of it just, like, kind of, like, slunk off, and then you're like, oh, it must be dead. And I'm like, no, you have no frame of reality to give this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, there's nothing convincing
it
about
could easily be, like, like, playing you at that point, right? Like, it's weak and it dissolved in the air. Like, why wouldn't it be able to do that in any other form, you know?
No, so, but it falls off, and then he cries when he finds his brother's coat, and we wrap up with a happy ending.
Yep.
But they all cut their hands on the big promise to if it's still alive, because Bev has some vision of the future of them being older and terrified in the same spot again.
Yeah, was that from the book? I don't remember that. Well, was it? Okay. Or
it was from the miniseries. I'm confused about, because I remember Bev having visions.
I don't remember.
I remember Bev having visions, and I remember her having visions about them getting back together, and like she's the instigator for the second half of it when they're older, to bringing them all back, and then. That's what led to that moment. So they all make a big blood oath and hold hands in a dramatic moment, saying they'll get back together if it ever comes back.
Yeah.
And they all take off. Bill gives Bev a kiss, and she holds his hand with her bloody hand.
Yeah, his head. His cheek.
And I'm like, you could have picked the other fucking hand, not the one that is sliced open in pain and currently bleeding profusely.
Nope. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Just raw teenage emotion.
Yeah. So they kiss and they take off, and that's the end of the movie.
And that's it.
For part one.
Yeah. So, I mean, so if you don't know, the next part is going to be the adults coming back to town to fight the monster again. So what do you think about them not doing because the book and the miniseries both do the thing where it's like, here's some fucking children stuff, here's some adult stuff, here's some children stuff. It's kind of like flashing back, like between both scenarios each time.
I like the focus. I remember watching.
I like the focus.
I fucking love the focus, because I remember from watching the miniseries the first time, I only liked watching the kids episodes. I didn't like watching the adult episodes because they were the crappier half. And then also in the book, I was more entangled inside of that side. I always felt at that period in Stephen King's writing, he was better at writing that kind of children's story. Like how Miyazaki writes better kids stories than he does, say, like this one about the plane and all that shit. He really captures being a youth. And there's Stand By Me and
Stand By Me is the seminal one, I think. Yeah.
And anything like that. Like, he's really good with writing kids, and I just felt like that was a stronger component to it in the first place.
It is. It did. 100%.
So like this whole movie focused in on that is great, but as a counterpoint to that, it makes me afraid about what's going to happen with the adults. These kids are better actors than every adult in Hollywood right now.
It's going to be really hard to like be as charming when they're adults. You know what I mean? Like yeah. I'd be surprised if they don't like have the kids back for the sequel as well, just for some flashbacks or something, or like something, right? Like, remember this other thing that happened?
Because can they find people in Hollywood currently who can be just as charming? There are charming people, but I don't see them fitting into being in it. They're all too handsome and stuff. Like, they need to be like average Joe looking folks.
Yeah.
And then on top of all that, like these kids, I've seen one of them in 2 different franchises, and I am just like I would want him to be my best friend, you know. And I want to hang out with all of them if I was a kid and know all of them. And I love the camaraderie. I love the whole thing. And while this writer could produce such content, and while the producer could do it as well, can the actors portray that as well as easily? I can't even really think of a movie currently that's done that to me, where adults have drawn me in to want to be part of the team.
Yeah, like almost never.
No.
I didn't really think about it.
Like, the Guardians of the Galaxy are fun, but I would not hang out with them.
Yeah, I'd never really think about it.
No.
But yeah, just a fantastic movie overall. I will say, like, I said this after the thing, like, it didn't actually scare me at all. Like, I had a lot of tense moments, but there was no, for the amount of jump scares I thought that it attempted to do, which I think there were quite a few, none of them paid off for me, and I kept wanting at least one good one to get me, but I just kept, like, just sitting through them flatlining.
And I'm
like,
totally with you.
And yeah, like, I was just, and that could totally be a thing of, like, we both watch a lot of horror movies, so, like, we're desensitized, you can hear the musical cue in the background, like, doing that ramp up and stuff, and...
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I got the tropes and stuff like that, but I was still falling in with them. But I don't think that was it. I actually, in a little bit of a flip side, like, I agreed that, like, I never got all the boos out. Like, I never felt like it ever actually completed a boo. Like, it would get there, and then I would just be like, oh, you revealed it without surprising me.
I think their intention in a lot of those things was to be a jump scare.
But I felt like maybe it wasn't, and I kind of liked that juxtaposition where they're like, oh, and instead it was just horribly, like, horrifying to watch, right?
I think the loud noise and the sudden image is a, you know...
I don't know. I felt like maybe it wasn't intended to come out as straight out as a boo, but instead more just like we've ramped up to you being really fucking scared of Pennywise. Because I have to say, through almost every single scene except for two lesser than ones, every time Pennywise showed up, like, my skin went hot, my heart rate went up, and I was just like, motherfucker, like, just that horrifying creature. And I don't know, I didn't feel like at the end of the movie I missed it. I was like, oh, you know what, I kind of like that it just kept me on edge. And
I like to be scared in horror movies. It just doesn't happen to me as much anymore. Yeah. It's so rare. So I was just hoping in this one, especially since, you know, this one has been hyped up so much. Everyone's fucking loving it, and, like, they're not just saying it's a good movie. They're like it's also super terrifying. So maybe I went in with my expectations too high, but, like, I don't think I did, because, like, I just really enjoyed this as a movie.
I went in with almost a 0, because I was with this movie. I've been so tired of reviews and spoilers ruining every movie. So I went into this with almost a 0. So, like, I didn't have any kind of expectation. And doing that again with a film again, finally, I gotta say, like, I was so much more happy with the film. Like, and I wasn't picking out so small. I just kind of felt like every execution just felt correct. So
that's the thing. I think it was executed correctly. I just think maybe that, like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, the only negative to me for the film is, yeah, like, just a couple of tropey moments in it where I was just a little bit like I'm splitting up at the end.
That's not even like, yeah, it's not a big, it's a small
innocuous thing. And I mean, lengthwise, it was pretty good. It might have been a little long.
It was a little long in the tooth, I think. Yeah, it was like I think it was 2 hours and 15 minutes, I believe. I always want to say the running time. 2 hours and 15 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little long, but
yeah,
it never lost me. I was never unentertained.
No, that's the thing. The scenes with the kids, it's just such a glue that holds the whole movie together. It's just it's fucking great to watch their friendship and just the Losers Club do their thing.
Like, I'm waiting for the YouTube clips of just the kids banter. Like,
yeah.
It's just going to be an entire montage of them talking to each other.
Pennywise is always fun to watch. Like, what form is he going to take? What is he going to do? Like, what is this, like, you know, what's his fucking mouth going to do? For me, that's a big one. I was like,
you know, it's true. Every time I come, I was so curious, I'm like, whether we're going to see his teeth this time.
Yeah, so, like, just, a great watch through and through. Could not recommend it enough.
Probably... I kind of like that visual change, too, because with the original, with Tim Curry's he always had fangs, right?
No.
No?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought he always had his fangs. Like,
no, he had, like, normal scenes, and then they all of a sudden, like, cut, and he'd be like, wah, and he'd have the sharp teeth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I always thought he had sharp teeth. I don't know.
No. They have a... if you're like this one, go back and watch the miniseries from 1990. It's fun.
It's a fun watch.
It's
fun. A fun watch. It's definitely a fun watch.
I actually didn't like it at all when I first watched it when I was like 12, because it was like when I was like around that age, I realized that I liked horror a lot, and like I was like, oh, I should go back and watch like the quote unquote classics. Then I was like, Stephen King's it. Like I've heard of this, and I watched it, and I was like completely bored by it. It's super long. It's like
super fucking long.
3 hours long, and I remember just not being into it when I was a kid. So now watching it this week, I actually appreciated it way more than I did when I was a kid. But yeah, I think that'll about wrap it up for it. Go see it. It's fantastic. It's one of the
movie.
Best horror films I've seen in theaters in recent memory. So
yeah, I haven't enjoyed a horror film like this and walked out of it not just being like, oh, that just scared me and I'll get over this in a week, or I was just not entertained. Like, this was generally...
in a week?
Well, you know, like when you get out of a horror film that actually did scare you, and you're just kind of like, oh, this is going to like be in my head and stuff, thought process every once in a while.
Yeah.
And instead with this one, I was just like, or instead with other ones, I'll be like, all right, they'll just wash away. This one, I'm going to be thinking about it for a long time, and not in a way that's going to like terrify me, which was what I was talking about before.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't. I'm not going to go home tonight and be like, I don't want to turn off any of the lights. I'm just going to be constantly thinking about the movie and different scenes and components. It's going to stick with me.
Yeah, this is one I'm eager to rewatch whenever it comes out on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
That wraps it up.
That wraps it up.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at TheCalG. Mike is at Mike Kent Draws. Pens and Pixels is PNP_podcast on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. And you can also give us a like, share, and subscribe. These podcasts are on YouTube as well, and also you can give us a like and a share and a subscribe on SoundCloud or iTunes. Give us a rating there. Drop us a comment of any kind. We'd like to hear from you. What are your opinions on the It movie? What did you think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Tell us what you think, because we love to hear people's opinions. And share it with us. We will respond. And other than that, go away. No, I'm just kidding. I kid.
I was gonna just say you'll float too, and then you fucking
fucking
go away.
Go away.
Get out.
Get out. You get out of here.